Hi guys, in this video we are going to be going over the highest DPS sort of teams you can go over in Aniimo, and we're going to be using some decent combos to pretty much destroy the bosses in like 2 seconds, or if not in 2 seconds then we got different combos from ranged. So there's a couple of builds I've been using that are just broken. Some do literally like 150,000 damage in a burst attack, and some are like long range and they do about 100,000 damage in sort of a long range multi-shot attack. And you can do this constantly against bosses and pretty much delete everything. So in this video, we're going to go over the builds that I've been messing about with in Aniimo, and I'm going to show you exactly what supports I use and what items I use with my main DPS builds. Because in Aniimo, you have one DPS and then you have 3 other teammates to do different things like break their shield, stun them, or give you support or give you healing. But in this video, what I'm going to do is go over all the builds I've been using. There's a couple of teams I've been using mainly, and go over how I do the damage with them and why they are so strong. Because supports and attached weapons you attach to your Aniimos in this game make an absolute massive difference, and that can be the difference between 1,000 damage or 2,000 damage to like 100,000 damage. So we'll go over them now, and let's just get into it now, and I'll show you exactly what teams I'm using, and let's just get into the video. Yeah, let's go. Right guys, so the first team I use, and this is what I mainly use because it's the safer option, even though the other build is pretty just ridiculously OP. This is the one I use myself. So Irisal is a plant DPS type, and she is incredibly good at range DPS. Okay, she's probably the strongest range DPS I think in terms of actual long range combat. So she is unique in the sense that her attacks are one of the very few in game that actually let her attack and move at the same time. There are a few different ones in game that let you attack and move at the same time, but she is probably the best. I think it's 1 or 2. I think there's another Aniimo that should do it. But basically, Petal Storm. She consumes 10 EP per second. This is our main DPS build. And what happens is she spins and she attacks, and the more EP you have, the more she consumes, the more damage it does as well. We don't really use the rest of them. This is going to be our main damage dealer. You can use Focus Beam if you want to do some short DPS like spam, but it consumes 50 EP, so you're better off just using Petal Storm. And basically, this build is going to go around her. It's going to go around hers. Basically her ultimate. So her ultimate is Dancing Petals, and it spins and releases Storm and Petals, which is like a massive burst attack. And the actual items we're using. So we're using this one, which is the battery. The battery increases our ultimate damage by 40%, and if you get the tier 1 effect, which I have, using the ultimate immediately refunds 20 EP ultimate points. You get 20% back. This is really important because it actually lets you spam your ultimate attack, and with that extra damage as well, this is going to be where you get your main damage off. And of course, with the runes you socket in, you want to go for critical damage rate, or critical damage itself, and possibly true damage if you can get true damage, and regen and cooldown reduction. They are going to be the main ones you want. If you can get them, that will be amazing. And so yeah, so our main thing is obviously the Dancing Petals, but it's not just the Dancing Petals. That is your dealing damage, but that isn't your main regen. So your main regen is actually Leafy here. Leafy here is really good, right? Because you just use it for support, and you use this attack only. Only use this attack. Press a circle, magic circle, or a magical circle. Restores EP to grass teammates within this area per second. Scaling with Leafy's regen. And for 20 seconds, it increases your EP. So your EP is what you use to cast your skills. Also, it levels up grass terrain within its area, and it heals grass teammates 1% per second for 20 seconds, so it's up to 20% of your life. But we're using EP regen is what we're really using her for, but obviously she can heal you as well. So, you know, that's always good. And it scales off her regen. So when you actually go with Leafy, go to compatibility. This is where you put your points, your skill points, when you level up your animos. And with Leafy, you just want to go, well, ideally, I've actually gone with regen. But you can go HP as well, because obviously with that skill, that does scale off your, oh, sorry, it scales off your regen. So actually, yeah, I was right to put it in regen. So yeah, go all in regen, and when you have some extra skill points, you can then put them into HP just to get some extra sort of tankiness. This one's just a healer. We don't actually use this for the build. This is just if we get in trouble. But she has, well, we could use Phantom Fly and restore EP to all teammates but you have to go around and sort of pick them up around the area. So that's not really the best thing we do. But this is basically just a AOE heal, and it's a big circle and restores your health as well for grass types as well. This is going to be our second thing we use. So we're going to pump down Leafy or Eefy, and we're going to basically pump down her to then get the EP regen in the circle. Once we have our ultimate up, the first ultimate is going to be is actually going to be Rose Garden. So with Rose Garden, you actually, if I can get to that, there you go, Rose Garden. Create a circle magical area that increases your critical damage of all allies within the area by 70% for 30 seconds. So when you pop down our ultimate, critical damage is going to be increased by 70%. That obviously stacks with our item, which increases our critical damage by 40% and makes our critical damage 110% extra damage. Okay, so we have extra regen, and we also have the extra critical damage, right? That's massive. So I'm just going to show you right quick what I mean. And like I said, we're going to be, first off, we're just going to be using Petal Storm until we have both the buffs down. When we have both the buff down, then we're going to start using Dancing Petals until the buff disappears, and rinse and repeat, right? So I'll just show you what I mean. So we have a boss here, and the first thing we are going to do is actually, first thing we're going to do is strengthen. So we get the regen first. The regen is important. Then we're going to pop down our critical extra damage buff, and we're going to use Petal Dance until we get our ultimate up. So we use our Petal Dance, ultimate is up. Now we're going to spam our ultimate. Because we get that 20% extra back. As you can see, we've got 20% extra back, so we're nearly halfway and almost there. We actually got hit then, I think. We just use the Petal Dance. There we go. We use the ultimate again. And we go get that damage off nice and quick. There we go. We've now broke him. When you break his shield, he takes extra damage, right? So his shield is now gone. And we ought to make sure we keep our regen up with Leafy. As you can see, if our regen goes down, we lose our DPS right quick. So we're going to go down. We're going to use our Barrage again, our Petal Storm. There you go. And wait till that finishes. And then we're going to use our ultimate again. And you see the damage is just insane. And I don't actually think we need to use our critical damage again because he's so low health. We don't even need to use our critical buff again. But as you can see, they die less. What was that? About a minute? Probably less than that, right? And you can use this against any enemy that's weak against grass or not weak against grass. The damage is insane anyway. You can probably get away because she can do the barrage, which basically lets her spin and attack at the same time. It makes her incredibly strong. So if I just use this guy as an example, I'll just get my EP up. You see I've got 2 bars there. Right, you see I can spin. I can spin at the same time and attack. That is incredibly important. Not many of these Aniimo in this game can actually, you have to sort of stand still for a lot of them. And this Aniimo in particular does not have to stand still. So we've done that one. So I'm going to show you the other one. I'll go over to this guy here. And we're going to transport to him. And what I'm going to do is I am just going to skip forward right quick till we get to the boss. Okay, so skip forward to the boss. So this is the fire boss, right? Basically, he's fire and earth. But with this build, this is the Shirou build. I've got a couple of different Shirou builds, but this Shirou build basically relies on EP regen and a buff by this lightning support. So if you get the different variants of Shirou, Shirou has a lightning and energy variant, a lightning and water variant, sorry, and that is actually the thunderstorm variant. I've actually got the sparkling version, but you don't. As long as you have the thunderstorm variant, you're okay. And he has Ferocious Fang, which increases his base damage. That's all it does. Right? It increases his base damage, that's why his damage is 608, and that's all it does. So, but I will show you just in case. So, over to the carried item. This one just increases the attack by 0.8 per level. And I put some extra buffs in there, just give me critical damage buff as well. You can get a critical damage and cooldown reduction. They're the two main things you want for Shirou. And what we're going to do here is, with Shirou, first thing you're going to do is you are going to pop this guy first. And you're going to pop this attack here, Lightning Surge. So condense the energy into a circle on the floor. Increase your damage dealt by lightning teammates' ultimates by 35% and break efficiency by 25%. The higher the HP of your character, the higher the buff. So basically, you just want to go full HP with this guy when you go in capacity. You want to go full HP, because obviously the higher the HP, the better the buff. Okay, so we're going to go with that one. And first we're going to do, we'll pop that. And then what we're going to do, we're going to go over to this guy here. And we're going to pop this thing called Bubbles. Bubbles creates a circle area down, like an AoE. And the bubbles trigger every time you're inside the circle and you use a water skill. Maximum of 3 bubbles. Use the skill again to detonate all bubbles, restore an EP. This is massive, and this is why you do so much damage. Because your EP comes back so quickly, you can spam your attacks. Okay, so with Shirou, once you spam both of them support skills, we'll go over and we're going to use Torrent, Roll and Torrent. Roll and Torrent, after you press it and hit the enemy and then press it again to cancel it, it creates a puddle on the floor of water. Okay, the puddle is what we need. You can do multiple puddles. You don't have to do one puddle. You actually want to do 3 or 4 puddles, maybe 5 puddles. And you want to make sure they're in the same area. Okay, once you do that, what you're going to do then is you are actually going to slam. So you're going to put loads of puddles on the floor, and then you're going to slam. Okay, and with Tidal Strike, it increases your critical damage for 50% for 10 seconds when you are in water or are absorbing water. When you're in a puddle, you do 50% extra critical damage with your Torrent Slam. Okay, and obviously with this one as well, you have 35% extra damage on your ultimate, but your break efficiency is 25%. But there is a catch. Your Torrent Slam, right? Your Roll and Torrent is a puddle. Every puddle triggers when you slam it. So the more puddles you have, the more times it gets triggered. You have 5 puddles, well, they get triggered 5 times. Because each puddle triggers, plus your normal attack, right? And obviously with your 50% increased critical damage, it stacks, right? So we're going to do puddle for bubbles, sorry, for EP. We're going to do Lightning Surge for that extra ultimate damage and break efficiency. And then we're going to do Shirou's Torrent 3 or 4 times in the same sort of area. And then we're going to slam it. And so I will show you this, so it's easier for you to sort of see. So first thing we're going to do, probably trigger the bubbles first. And then we go strengthen. And then straight into this. And then we go straight into this. And then we go another bubble. See my EP is going back really quick. Right, and we've got sort of a couple of puddles. And we're probably gonna do it again, because the probably just trigger it again. Don't worry about this guy. This guy doesn't get enraged until to sort of half health. So what we do is we try and get. We don't have to hit him as long as we cancel the ability. You can see there's puddles on the floor. We're going to try and get as many of these puddles on the floor as we can. 4 or 5 should do it. Then we're just going to trigger this again just to get our EP back. And then we're going to slam. And there you go. He's instantly half his health is gone. Slam again. And he's dead. And that is exactly how you do it with all your opponents. Doesn't matter if they're weak or not. If you slam with the puddles up and with your buffs up, you get your regen. Your puddles regen your EP back super quick, so you can pump out 3 or 4 or 5 bubbles. And then after that, you can use your other buff to then increase your critical strike. Oh, sorry, your ultimate damage. Sorry. And that obviously stacks when you're inside a bubble as well because of your passive skill. And then when you trigger your, I don't want me to throw a ball for some reason. Oh well. And when you trigger everything together, it stacks, and you just do an absolute massive ton of damage. And you can actually use your ultimate with this as well. So if you use your ultimate, it actually, I think your ultimate actually stacks as well. Delivers slash. And will absorb water to increase its damage by 30%. Yeah, so this is what I use to get about 150 damage. You absorb all the bubbles and then use your ultimate. And then it will hit the enemy and it will do like 150,000 damage if you broke the enemy's shield or broke the enemy's stagger meter. And then yeah, that's how you sort of do it. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. And if you're thinking about Aniimo, there actually are multiple different builds you can do with all different elements. We have ice, grass, water, electric, earth, fire, wind, light, darkness. We have loads of different elements, and they all have different abilities. You can see there's top left hand corner above Tubester. You see this guy's a break, this guy's a healer, this guy's a DPS. And then you have support as well. So you got DPS, break, support, healer. And there's another one, I think. DPS, break, support, healer. Oh, there's another one. Oh, regen. Yeah, regen. And there's a regen guy as well. So they will have like all different passives and stuff. And they all stack with each other. All different supports work for different people as well. But yeah, I just thought I'd let you guys know there's more to this game than meets the eye, right? There's a lot to this game, and honestly, you can make some really broken builds, dude. And I think it's absolutely awesome that you've done this. And you can get all different forms. You get shinies, you get darks, you get prisms, you get normal ones as well. I mean, look at this guy. This guy looks cool, right? And this guy's a prism form as well. He's a shininess. I got the shiny version of this guy. This is a thunder form. And I mean, you got, in terms of different forms, some of the lightning guys look pretty cool. Like for example, you got this guy here. He's pretty cool. Not gonna lie, he looks pretty cool. Then you got the shiny form of the praying mantis version. And we've also got some of the new ones that just came out. Like this guy here, he looks pretty cool. Not gonna lie. We've got this guy. We've got the bat. I think the bat's gonna be really good because the bat itself has some. It's just literally come out, so I ain't really worked with it yet or used it yet. This one has like a ability to increase the critical chance against enemies, right? So I'm going to mess about with this guy and see if I can do anything with this as well. But there's so much customization you can do in this game. It's insane. And there's different traits, there's different passives, there's different abilities. You can actually change your abilities. You can give them different items. You can increase their stats to different elements and stuff like that. Change their different attack types. Some Aniimo have multiple different elements. You can do multiple different attacks, like lightning and fire and stuff like that. But anyway, yeah, don't want this video to be too long, but I hope you liked it. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.